Hey guys, what's up? It's SETImania. This is my review for the episode of iCarly, the new one tonight that was called iOpen a Restaurant. I think so, yeah. Now, I didn't do a speculation for this one because I just didn't have time, or it wasn't that I didn't have time, I just never really got around to it. I know, that's pretty bad on my part, but anyways. This episode, it was interesting. It was definitely an eye-opener, and the title really sort of, disguised what else was going to be in the episode. It disguised it very well. Because the main theme of the episode was Gibby opening his restaurant. And then the back plot line was Spencer having the security system put in his apartment after it was robbed. But there was also two other little things in here in the episode of iCarly that are very infamous in the fandom. One's famous, one's kind of infamous. SETI and Creddy. This episode had to me it was kind of very random to pop up suddenly, but there was a scene where Carly and Freddie were talking in the hall, and they were wondering where Gibby was because they hadn't seen him the past 2 classes or so. And then Freddie just randomly pops up with this thing about, so you want to love me? and that right there, it just made everybody's ears sort of spring up, sort of like take a double take, sort of made everybody take a double take. And really, you have to wonder. In my opinion, this was my opinion, I was like, oh god, come on Freddie, don't go back to first season where you're basically begging, where you are begging for her attention. Because it's just not, to me it's not worth it. And I mean, yes, Carly and Freddie have dated before, and I mean, we see how that sort of turned out. But anyways, one thing I did like about this episode is that Sam caught on. And to me, it basically showed me that Sam can sort of read Freddie like a book. Because when he was going to follow Carly back upstairs, she sort of picked up on something right away, immediately. And she was like, wait. You got a little crush on her again? And it sort of set off a little couple awkward seconds between them, and he was like, no. And it just sort of set them off as a little awkward, and then they went their separate ways. And it was just very interesting. And I really liked that Sam brought it up, that because it was a little confrontation. It was a little communication between Sam and Freddie, which is always good. And then one thing I do like that I will say is it's not really a SETI moment, but it's something that Sam and Freddie have in common. When Gibby talked about opening up his restaurant, Carly thought it was a bad idea. Of course she would, but Freddie was like, will there be lasagna? And Sam was like, will there be bacon or something? And I just loved that. I loved it that they were both in tune. They were sort of on the same page there. They were both about the food. Like, will there be certain food there? Okay, I'm all for this. And I love how that Sam, Gibby, and Sam are all down for this. I love that. It's like they're all sort of being rebels here and opening up a restaurant in the basement of the school. This was in the basement. The basement had never been used in 20 years. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. But the episode is interesting, and I'm not really sure. I don't know if this was Dan's plan. It probably was, because I know that he's seen what an episode with even a little bit of credit can do. We've seen the episode I Start a Fan War, so he knows how the fans can get, how some extreme can get, but I want to say that the fans, and these were people who I follow on my timeline, I'm not going to name any names, but just the ones who were brushing off the episode like, okay, I'm wiping up this episode out of existence, or it's like, this episode was crap, or what the fuck, I just cursed on Twitter, I don't care. It's just the ones who were just completely wiping it out, overreacting, really, those, okay guys, really, be more mature than that. First, you don't wipe the episode out of existence in your mind, because, hey, we don't even know how much longer iCarly's got, so let's enjoy these episodes while they're still coming out. Okay? And it has been said it has been heard somewhere that Carly's going to have 2 more seasons, but that's not been confirmed by Dan or any of the cast, so until they confirm them, I'm not believing it. So, and even if they had 2 more seasons, I really don't see how they could do that if Miranda wanted to go to school and with Jeanette's new show. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not believing that till there's more proof of that. But anyways, just basically, okay, even though there was some credit in this, basically, you need to, before you start freaking out and panicking and getting all angry at Dan, you need to just chill, take a minute to chill, think back, and just really watch the episode without thinking about Creddy and Sadie. It's a lot different. Because really, the episode was hilarious. It was funny. Spencer's backline, I loved that whole part with his security robot going haywire and shooting at Carly and Freddie and Spencer. They all jumped over the counter. And that whole scene right there was sort of slow motion done as it shifted over to the other scene, and I thought that was kind of cool, because that's like something you've never seen on iCarly, where it's sort of in slow motion and they're shifting back. So yeah, I thought that was just hilarious. And then they try to disarm the bot and using Miss Benson as the bait, basically, as the target, and she gets shot at. And Freddie has no remorse for her. He's like, okay, fine. Oh my god. And I just think it's so, I thought that part was hilarious. So yeah, definitely applause for that. But, and I know that many think that Dan, well, this is Minnie's opinion, that they think Dan is a troll. And he was on Twitter during the episode while it was airing, and he did see a trending topic that said, "We want SETI back," and he did acknowledge there was a trending topic. So, I mean, I'm not going to really speak my opinion of that, because really, I don't, the only thing I expect from Dan right now, basically, is the laughs, is the comedy of iCarly, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the laughs of it. This episode had those, but it also had this sort of shocking, surprising effect to it, where we hear this stuff suddenly again. I mean, you sort of see a Freddy from season 1 attitude, kind of, with that awkward rant, completely random. That was completely random, too, that completely random moment in the hallway where he's like, so you want to love me? Anyway, and I mean, it's just, but then we go back to this whole, the recent part where Sam and Freddy broke up, and Sam can catch on to Freddy, and she confronts him about that, and I just think it's really cool that Sam acknowledged it. And to me, I think it sort of shows a bit of jealousy, which is good. I'm glad that Sam's sort of feeling something and he's not just feeling nothing at all. Because, normal, in the real world, you do feel a little bit of jealousy. It does happen. So, anyways, I loved it. One thing I kind of loved about the episode, I kind of found it was funny, but it was also kind of weird to me. I felt like I was watching like an episode of The Godfather or Sopranos or whatever, because the guy with his friends that came down to Gibby's, they were all like talking, hey Gibby, take off your shirt. And Gibby's like, I don't take off my shirt anymore. And basically, I was just yelling at the TV. I'm like, Gibby, take off your shirt. It's what you've been known funny for. The kid in the episode beforehand, which was Ito's Fat Case, just said that a lot of kids love it. You should. Just take off your shirt. And I can understand why maybe Noah doesn't take off his shirt on iCarly anymore, or maybe even something that Dan and him decided. I can understand that. But really, I mean, that's basically what Gibby's known for. He's the shirtless wonder. So, anyways, but I love that he was about to just get in a fight with him. And something else, Sam sort of defended Gibby in this episode. I mean, she told the guy to back off. That wasn't cool. And then at the end, she attacked him with a butter sock with a big bunch of butter in it, just whacking all over him. Gibby got butter on him, and Sam's like, "I'm sorry, I got butter on you." And I just think that's kind of definitely a side of Sam we've never seen. Maybe one. I don't know. It's sympathy towards Gibby. For one thing, it's concern for Gibby. So that's something we've never seen, and it's a little weird, a little strange, because it's basically the first time we've seen it. But this episode had Creddy, it had Sibby, but it was just, all in all, to me, it was a good episode because of all that in it. It made it interesting. It was funny, but it made it interesting to watch. And even though some of you guys freaked out the moment Freddy even brought up that whole thing in the hallway, and you were freaking out through the whole episode, calling it a horrible episode. What the fuck with this Creddy? We don't want Creddy, we want SETI. I was just sitting there watching the episode, and I was enjoying it, but I was also thinking about other things. I was thinking into it, and I'm not really getting hyped up. I'm not really getting angry about this. I mean, it's some credit, a big deal. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I mean, we gotta see the next episode. So, I mean, this could have just been a random thing to pop up because, I mean, I don't know really. We'll have to see if it goes anywhere. If it doesn't, oh well. I mean, because Carly really never acknowledged it. I mean, that's the key thing right there. Freddie said that, and Carly was like, "What?" And Freddie just sort of dropped it from there. I mean, he just acted like it never happened. So I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting episode, and it kind of has you wondering what's gonna happen next. And I think that's kind of a good thing of iCarly. I mean, episodes like this, yeah, the setting and the credit adds to a bit of the excitement, and it maybe also adds to the drama of the fans because they do get in fights over this, which I really find is just pointless now. It's just not worth it. It's a TV show. So, anyways, but it's definitely an interesting episode, and I love the end where Principal Franklin and Mr. Howard came back into the episode. I love seeing old characters come back in. That's so awesome to me because it's just like, hey, these old characters are back. If we could just see Wendy now, that'd be awesome. I didn't see her in the episode. I don't know if she was in it, but anyways, but I love the end where Mr. Howard gets on to Gibby and tells him to shut down the restaurant, and he go and tell the principal, and the principal's already in the restaurant eating, and so and then the principal tells him Gibby to keep the restaurant open. So maybe we'll see Gibby's restaurant in another episode. That'd be cool to keep that set around, maybe, you know. So, anyways, just the episode. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. It's definitely I don't know if you call it a mind boggler, but it gets you thinking and it gets you wondering and it keeps you interested. It keeps you excited. And I don't know if this is Dan's main priority was maybe to get fans interested in iCarly again, because really iCarly is lost. It's hit the top. It's exceeded its maximum of fame, and it's gone down recently. It's gone down a lot, but it's still coming out with new episodes. So I mean, really, I don't know if this was a way for Dan to get the excitement back in it, but I mean, really, we can't really know what's going to happen until we see the next episode. And the next episode is next week. It's called I Halloween, and apparently Nickelodeon's doing some whole special, some whole long run that day, that Saturday, only that Saturday, where they're showing all their Halloween-themed episodes of everything, Big Time Rush, and SpongeBob, and all the Halloween episodes of their shows. So, I mean, the I Halloween, I kind of wonder if that was something that Nick had planned and that Dan had to run with it. So, I mean, that might not have been his idea, you know? You sort of think that way, but anyways. So, but yeah, I really thought it was a great episode all around. I enjoyed it. I laughed. It was fun to me, and it was interesting. It got me interested. So, I mean, and I gotta admit, I'm glad it did get me interested a little bit more. But I'm not gonna freak over this. I'm not gonna get mad or hyped up over this, okay? I'm just gonna see what happens and see how it comes out. And really, that's all anyone can do. So, yeah, I want you guys to let me know what you thought of the episode, what you thought of the setting, well, I don't know. I thought there was some setting in there, but what you thought of the episode, I do want to know your opinions about the credit parts. I want to know if the episode got you interested in the series more. Did it? Because that could be a main thing here. I mean, that sort of could have been the reason why Dan threw that in. I mean, maybe to get us interested in the show again. Who knows? Because, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't even think that iCarly's still on the air because Nickelodeon spreads out the new episodes so much. It's ridiculous. But anyways, I mean, what did you think about the episode? Did it get you interested? Was it funny? What did you like? What did you not like? Let me know. And I just want to know. I also want to know what you thought about Sam confronting Freddy over that little crush part. I want to know. Okay, guys? So, yeah, that's about wrapping it up for me. And in the infamous words of Sarcastic Leaves, rock on, City Warriors, rock on. Yeah. I'll see you guys later.